Dice and Pizza contains descriptions of peril, natural disasters, and kaiju. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello, wayward listeners. Welcome back to Dice and Pizza, a quest show that follows a ragtag band of heroes who are chasing after an ancient dragon bent on burning down the world of Mirios. My name is Derek, he, him pronouns, and I will be your guide for today's journey.
Hey, I'm Mya Worrell, they, them pronouns, please. I played Zaba, the party's naturalist, masked guardian of Kokuru, Banning Chosen, self-proclaimed releaser of Tankai. Fun fact, Zaba can in fact turn into a horse.
Salutations, cousins. My name is Justin, he, him pronouns. I'll be playing Driftwood, they, them pronouns. Fun fact, Driftwood's prepared to die for the cause, but will they? They are swimming for their lives from giant crocodiles and mystery men.
Hello. My name is Kyla. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I play Ernie for short. Fun fact about Ernie, they are on a horse, and if the previous Zaba fact is true, that means Ernie can... Don't anyway, that's that train of thought. Should I redo my intro?
I'm not the horse. Just to clarify, I'm not the horse.
Fun fact horse. about Ernie is that anyways.
Once again, everyone, we are playing the game Quest by the Adventure Guild. It's a rules-light system that focuses on storytelling and world building. Everything that we will roll today will be on a D20. And that's all you really need to know as our characters use their abilities in today's game. Last time on Dice and Pizza, some pretty crazy shit happened. Our characters tried to go fishing and take a nice chill break, but just like the last time they went fishing, a giant big creature showed up. And this time it was the Buwaya, a giant half-material, half-spectral freshwater crocodile that Ernie accidentally dragged out of the lake. Kind of, not really dragged, but more pissed off. And when that happened, the party was met by Jak and Atreus, the right and left hands of the king of Odysseus. And after a sort of strange encounter where Atreus peered into Zaba's mind and saw some of Zaba's memories, the Buwaya attacked Jak and Atreus as Ernie stole a horse, Zaba turned into a hawk and flew away, and Driftwood started to swim across the lake. That is sort of the vibe, and that's where we're going to pick up. So we are going to start with Driftwood. Which way are you swimming? Are you swimming up north to Odysseus, or are you swimming down south to Alida, or are you swimming across to the other side of the lake towards the mountains on the other side of the lake?
So Driftwood tried to just immediately get the signal to run for their other companions. So Driftwood is swimming to like the middle, the between, like just across the lake. Okay. Because I don't think we're going back to Odysseus at all. So that's what I'm doing. That's what Driftwood's doing.
Alrighty, cool. Roll me a d20. Yes. Oh. This is in fact a long swim.
What? I rolled a 20.
You rolled a 20?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Do we win? Win the game?
So a 20 is a triumph, which means that you succeed and then some. Let's see. Driftwood, you managed to swim all the way across the lake with ease. You're not exhausted. Over the last few adventures, you've noticed that whenever you're in magical places, you not only have a keen sense for it, but that whenever you've interacted with it, you've learned a little bit more about how the magic in certain spaces, spiritual spaces, work. And when you get to the other side, as you're kind of brushing, drying yourself off, you realize that this whole lake has a very intense magical presence that you're able to sense. And you've gained the wizard ability Sense Magic.
Whoa!
Congrats on being the first character to level up in our game.
Wow.
So go ahead and read that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Ernie, you are riding on a horse after a bunch of metal balls fell out of the sack.
But I have one of
Promptly,
them.
You've got one of them, and as you're examining it, as you're riding back to Odysseus, you promptly hear a loud kaboom, kablam, as these metal balls explode behind you. It's like an action blockbuster as you're riding towards Odysseus. What are you doing as you notice that you now have a bomb in your hand?
Does it look like it's like gonna go off?
No, it looks like it just takes a large impact. You realize upon further examination that the metal is quite thin and that upon impact, these things explode if thrown hard enough.
Does his horse have a saddlebag?
Yes, it has a saddlebag.
I'm trying to think if I have any clothing I can wrap this in. You know what? I'm going to keep on holding it as I ride back to Odysseus. I'm not going to risk accidentally exploding and killing my horse.
Okay.
So you're headed back to Odysseus?
Yeah, I'm going to go climb the wall, I guess.
Yeah, well, so that's something you do notice. As you're riding towards Odysseus, you notice that there are guards flooding out of the city gates and that they are armed. So the city gates are going to be difficult to get through.
Okay. Can I ride? Does it seem like there's a road around the wall?
There is not a road, but you could improvise and just go around the wall.
Because what I want to do is I want to use this bomb to create a distraction so that I can avoid the guards.
Yeah, you can do that. The idea would be to create a distraction, then climb over the wall.
Yeah, with my my feather hook or grappling hook or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Roll me a d20.
Well, I guess I am just going to go try and find Sidon by myself. 13.
13. All right, you succeed with that. So you manage to chuck the bomb. Where do you chuck it exactly?
Okay, so the gate is kind of in front of me because I want to ideally get a little bit out of the view of the guards so that they don't immediately peg me as the one who threw it.
Okay.
I'm going to try and use my excellent throwing arm that I've obviously previously discussed and try and throw it really far and really hard.
Okay, yeah, you throw it really far and really hard, the opposite direction of where you ride, and the bomb lands and explodes, and the guards panic, and their attention's drawn towards the explosion outside the city wall.
Okay, I go in the other direction.
You go in the other direction, and you manage to dismount, and you with ease, spend those adventure points to fire your feather hook, and the grappling hook flies up and out of your like little crossbow and onto the wall, and you begin to climb over the wall. Dun dun da da dun dun da da da. Zaba, you're a bird and you're flying away. You see Driftwood coming up on the shore. You see an explosion at the city of Odysseus, and you see the explosional trail that Ernie left behind them. It's quite massive. And you see Jak and Atreus fighting. What are you doing? Fighting with the buaya, this
Right.
100-something foot crocodile that is snapping at them. What do you do?
Well, yeah, I'm up high as I'm wont to do. I guess I have a decision to make of which way I'm going to be headed, Odysseus or Alita. I want us to be reunited. So I think I'm going to head Driftwood's way and get Driftwood to come to join up with Ernie.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
I think that would be easier than the reverse situation.
Yeah, fair. That is, in fact, very fair.
So I'm going to fly in the direction of Alita.
Ooh, what'd you draw?
3 of Cups, which
Okay.
feels like it's like reunite the group.
So, yeah, from your vantage point, you make the decision to fly towards Driftwood to keep the party together. The first rule of tabletop RPGs. But as you fly over the lake, your feathers tingle as you feel something hot flying towards you.
No.
And you turn and you see that Atreus has hurled fire at you, like
What
a literal
the
fireball.
Wow.
I believe you had already been hit.
I have
with a-
2 hit points right now.
So you get hit again.
Okay.
Yeah, you get hit again for...
More than 2 hit points?
Yeah, you get hit for 6 points of damage.
Okay, so I am now Zaba again.
Oh no.
So Driftwood, you see Zaba get hit by a ball of fire that explodes, and when the smoke disappears, you see Zaba falling like headfirst down towards the lake. You fall and you impact the lake, and you splash real hard. You're going to take 4 points of damage from impacting the lake.
Oh
Ow.
God!
Driftwood.
Here I am, sensing magic.
Yeah, sensing magic.
So Driftwood leveled up and gained the ability Sense Magic from the projection aspect of the wizard class. Sense Magic says you get a gentle tingling feeling in your bones whenever you're near a powerful source of magic. You're aware that magic is in the area, but not its location or nature.
So you are fully aware that this lake is incredibly powerful, even with the Buwaya outside of the lake.
Mm.
So there's 2 sources of magic, the Buwaya and the lake itself. There's something powerful within it. And Zaba just fell back into the lake.
And took four damage, right? How
Yep,
far
and took 4 damage.
am I from the impact zone?
Like 100 feet. Like you'd have to swim back out. It's Zaba's about halfway across the lake.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd have to swim back out for sure.
So Driftwood definitely starts swimming towards Zaba and prepares like a mend spell, and they also hear an explosion.
Yeah.
So they kind of like swallow a little water while they're swimming, and they're like, what?
Yeah. Zaba, you're reunited with Driftwood as Driftwood is choking on the water a little bit, and you get healed for the 5 hit points that Mend heals you.
I'm just floating on my back.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing? What what kind of plan is this?
Zaba has given up.
I just want this day to be over.
Oh God. Okay, how are you at swimming?
How is Zaba at swimming? I'm decent. Yeah.
Sounds like you're okay at swimming. Let's. Do you have any idea where Ernie went? Also, did you hear that explosion?
You just answered your own question.
Ernie's dropping bombs.
Supposedly, I point to Odysseus.
I guess we're going back to Odysseus then.
Yes.
Okay. I reach in my pocket, and I pull out like a soggy bag of chips. They'll pay for this.
They will.
And with that, we're going to cut back over to Ernie. So the feather hook has pulled you up all the way up on top of the wall, and you've managed to slip your way into the city. What are you doing from here?
Okay, can I see guards, or does it seem like a lot of them have been distracted by the...
It seems a lot of them have been distracted. Not as many as you would have hoped, but a good chunk.
Okay, so I know that the Odysseus was kind of 2-tiered, with like the area where Jak and other folks are behind like the second tier. Which tier am I on?
You're in the first tier.
Okay, so I still need to find a way to get into the other tier.
Yeah.
Even if there are guards that are distracted, are there any that are still kind of patrolling in the inner area? I want to get something that will disguise me as a guard, basically.
Yes, there are definitely guards around.
I am a little bloodied, so I think I do stand out.
How many hit points do you have?
4. So doing good-ish. Okay, basically, if I see an opportunity to sneak attack, that's what I want to do, and try and karate chop someone.
Okay.
And steal their clothes.
Roll me a d20.
19.
All right, yeah, you managed to find a lone guard that is manning like a stall, and you karate chop the neck. And
this is a guard, right? This isn't just okay.
Yeah, the guard literally goes down, and then you pop back up dressed in the guard's uniform. It's a little ill-fitting, but it works. You are now disguised. Go ahead and mark down that you've spent those action points or those adventure points for disguise and sneak attack.
Perfect. Let me do that.
Yeah.
Is the guard like wearing boxers with like heart patterns on it?
Yeah, the guard is wearing a pair of knitted boxers with knitted red, spades on it. Spades, but without the little spade, like apple thing. It's just, yeah. I don't know if, yeah.
I tighten my belt.
Yeah. So Ernie, you're actually now wearing like armor. So any damage you take ongoing now will be reduced by 2 because you're wearing like some metal armor now.
It's a little uncomfortable, but I'll manage.
Yeah. You do have a helmet that covers your face.
Okay.
You begin to make your way up to the second tier. The guards let you in without question. And now you're in the second tier. On the second tier of Odysseus, it's very different than the first tier. The first tier was very muddy, wagon wheels, it's crowded, the buildings are cramped and tight together. The second tier has paved roads, paved sidewalks. The buildings are made of stone and clay, and they're more fancifully designed. And you notice that there are significantly less people up here, and that the people that are up here are all wearing sort of robes in the city's color. There's a lot of purple in their color. As you begin to walk through here, you know that in order to find Sidon, you're going to have to do what you set out and left Tosu originally to do, which was become a great tracker. And to that, you begin to look for clues. You gain the ranger ability track. So go ahead and look at that while we cut back over to Zaba and Driftwood. So Zaba and Driftwood, which shore are you going to go to? The North Shore, the East Shore, the West Shore, which is where the fight is going on,
No.
and then the South Shore is back towards Alida. So not that, and you're going to there. So you're going north or east? Which shore?
Which
North Shore is closer to Odysseus.
right, and North Shore, I'm presumably would have been where we'd heard the explosion.
Yeah,
Are we faster swimming or walking?
definitely walking.
Okay, but the North Shore is the closest.
Yeah, so you could take a little bit longer to swim to the North Shore because that's where the city docks are to the lake, versus going and climbing over a wall.
That's where the explosion was, you said, in North Shore?
North Shore, yeah, near the dock.
Why are you smiling?
Well, I'm just like, if we go over there, there's going to be a bunch of people probably dealing with like a bomb. So Driftwood says we should go east. You should get better at swimming.
Okay.
I'm so tired. Wait, did you mend me?
Yeah.
How much for?
So you should be at full because mend heals for 5
Oh,
HP.
nice. Okay, cool. You are the better swimmer.
Driftwood's like, I know. And then swallows like a little bit more water.
Starts coughing.
Just go east.
I'm just swimming with my mask on. That's so bizarre. Just water getting. Ugh,
It's
not a
really
fun
difficult to
feeling.
swim with a mask.
Yeah, all this water
You
resistance.
maybe realize that maybe that's why you're not as good of a swimmer as you could be. As the two of you begin to swim to the East Shore.
I do have a question. Driftwood, you did have the sword, right?
Yes.
What are you doing with that? Because I doubt that's helping you swim.
Oh, yeah. It's dangling haphazardly, like on my waist right now.
Okay, good to
man.
know.
So the two of you get to the Eastern Shore, and when you do, Zaba and Driftwood, you two hear another crackle of lightning as you see the Buwaya get hit by a bolt of electricity. The Buwaya kind of snarls in pain, and you see it kind of stagger back into the lake as you see Jak and Atreus begin to gain the upper hand. Are the two of you going to do anything about this?
It's not a funny situation. I don't know if there's anything.
Maybe if we get more of those bombs, we can come back.
Okay.
Does it look like they're going to pursue the Boya as it retreats? As they retreat?
Roll me a d20 as you observe them.
Watch me crit fail. That's 16.
Okay.
Nice.
You see that as the Buwaya backs up farther and farther into the lake. You see Atreus fending it off more so than Jak. Jak appears very irritated across the way, and you see him trying to look for a horse. You get a sense that they are going to go back to the city of Odysseus.
But they're gonna have to go by foot.
It's very funny. Okay.
Is it just them? Is it just Jak and Atreus? Is there the other guards aren't there?
The other guards are still unconscious from when Ernie knocked them out.
Right.
Ernie karate chopped them as well.
How many guards are unconscious?
There's 4 or 5 guards, I think, unconscious.
Yeah, I think it was a 4. So basically
Yeah.
the baddies just turn around and they just see 4 guards in the crowd and then no horses.
Okay, but they're
Yeah.
focused on the Bawaya right now, right?
Atreus is, Jak is not, yeah.
Oh, okay. What is Jak doing?
Jak's
he's looking for a horse?
Yeah.
Okay. I have an idea, but we need to have some of our Ernie skills intact for it to work. And it involves dressing up as the guards. If we get onto the shore right now, we can. If we can distract Jak, we can get their costumes and just head into Odysseus without any problems.
Okay.
I know you prefer disguising yourself as animals, but they are animals.
I mean, it's not too late. You could still do that.
What do you say? We have to do this now?
All right. How close are we? I mean, we're not that close to all the guards passed out, are we?
We have to swim back across the lake. But you could do it.
This looks like a long swim.
Driftwood starts to go.
Hey.
You can just, you can meet us inside if you want, but I think this is a better plan. It's getting quieter.
Did you ditch Zaba in the middle of the lake?
God damn it. Can I turn into a fish?
As you go into the water, and you try and transform into a fish, you start to choke before you get into the water, and you realize as you grab your throat that instead of transforming into a fish, you just gave yourself gills. You now have the naturalist ability gills because you've also leveled up.
Zaba gets gills.
So yeah, as you flop into the lake, you realize, holy shit, I can breathe, and you're able to keep up with Driftwood with swimming now.
So Driftwood's choking, and you have no problem.
Yeah, it literally balances out because Driftwood's such a strong swimmer, and Zaba's not. It balances out.
Wow, so much for Driftwood saying that they had the upper hand in swimming.
Okay, the two of you roll me a d20
Oh.
as you approach the other side of the lake.
4.
3.
Okay, so remind me, the two of you are going to go and try and steal the guard uniforms, right?
Yeah.
No choice is the wrong choice, Derek says.
No choice is the wrong choice. This is a failure. You fail your intended action and face a setback or some other misfortune. The two of you arrive on the other side of the lake. The Buwaya has at this point, fully retreated into the lake. And when you come ashore, you look around, you look left and right, up and down. You don't see Jak or Atreus. And the two of you enter and begin to go up to the guards and begin to try and strip them of their clothing and armor to change into their uniforms. It's at that moment that all of a sudden, Driftwood, you feel cold metal on the back of your head as you are knocked unconscious. You take 3 points of damage and you fall unconscious.
Are you all gonna get fucking captured?
Zaba, you feel a cold sensation on the back of your neck before you hear the words. Before you hear the words, I'm sorry, it has to be this way. And you feel a jolt of electricity course through your body as you take 4 points of damage and fall unconscious. And the two of you black out. We're now going to fade over to Ernie.
Completely unaware.
You now have the track ability, and you've been trying to find clues out of where Jak took Sidon.
Because I remember that Jak dragged Sidon through the muds into the upper tier. I mean, I know it's not as muddy here, but I'm assuming there would have been something left behind.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's up to your discretion if I use AP for that.
I would say, for the sake of this, even though it's not quite the ability, that yes, you can spend 1 AP to follow the trail that was left behind from the mud.
Yeah, because
from
I assume
Sidon.
it would take a little bit of concentration and energy to kind of see the mud, follow the mud splotches, basically.
You begin to follow this, and you begin to follow this trail, and it leads to a third gate. Unlike the previous gates, which were open, this gate is shut. It's a big metal door with 2 guards that are dressed in quite exquisite armor. It's like full plate mail, effectively. They carry huge halberds. There is another wall that you can climb over, but it appears that wherever that Sidon has been carried into this inner sanctum.
Okay. So I am going to try to use. I kind of know. I may not know the customs of this area, but I think I kind of know the customs of, how to hold yourself in a way that seems like you have some prestige. I'm going to pat myself over, make sure, my kind of dumpy armor in comparison doesn't look too wrinkled. And I'm going to stride up to them and say, I'm a Tosu sellsword, and I've been invited by Jak for a private meeting.
Okay. The guard says, huh, and roll me a d20.
Honestly, the fact that I'm wearing armor doesn't really help me in this case. Maybe I got a 9.
You got a 9. A 9 is a tough choice.
Really should have removed any traces that this is stolen armor.
Yeah, so the guard looks at you and says, really, you're a sellsword, yet you're wearing armor from our city.
I stick out, don't I, if I wear armor from Tosu? I would not want to be targeted as a sellsword. I know that my people are not held in very high regard here.
Okay. Here's your tough choice, Ernie / Kyla. You succeed at a cost, and the cost is either going to be 10 adventure points or someone somewhere else who is in opposition to you is going to gain more power.
What?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with this conversation. It's just I'm going to shift a couple things elsewhere.
You know what? That's interesting. I'm going to take that.
You're going to take that?
Yeah, because Ernie isn't aware of some of the inner politics of Odysseus and Tosu. They just kind of threw that out there as like, like a bullshit thing, not realizing the kind of tense something playing behind the scenes. So I think I'll go
Zaba,
with that.
we're gonna die.
Indeed.
Okay. So the guard nods and says, okay. May I take your name, sellsword from Tosu?
Fuck. I am Baza. Fuck you.
Baza? All right, Baza of Tosu. Welcome in. And they open the metal doors, and inside, the doors open, revealing an ornate palace, and you are let into the inner sanctum, where the royal court of Odysseus does their bidding. And you're escorted in by some guards to past several chambers. You see the sort of the king's throne room. You see where the diplomats and politicians meet. You see where the court officials meet. You see a guard barracks, and attached to that guard barracks is a prison. And through the slits in your helmet, you very much see. You don't see Zaba and Ernie, or Zaba. You don't see Zaba and Driftwood yet, but you do see Sidon in chains, hanging out in an open air cell.
I go.
Sidon does not notice.
Perfect. Okay, never mind. Don't do that.
He looks incredibly dejected.
Does Sidon recognize who Ernie would be, because aren't they wearing armor?
That's true. Okay,
Ernie has armor and a helmet. So.
But Ernie's still going like this.
Yes. Sidon doesn't notice. And
just
so you're taken.
Case.
Yep, just in case. And so you're taken past the barracks and the prison, the open air prison, to a sort of an ornate it looks like a forge mixed in with a house, and you're taken inside to a waiting room, and they say this is where Jak will meet you.
Thank you.
The guards leave you.
Wow, that's very they just leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you hear a lock as you leave.
Do they usually do this to guests?
In Odysseus they do.
Okay, this is just kind of like a waiting room, basically. Are there any other doors aside from the exit door?
There is another door. Presumably that leads into an office.
I kind of want to try and break in there. I don't think I have any skills to let me do that, though. Before that, I want to go to the other door that's locked and see if I can hear if anyone's breathing. If there's anyone standing guard outside that door. Or like rustling
yeah.
of armor or something.
Yeah, I'll just give it to you. Yeah, you hear 2 guards outside.
Okay, so I can't be too noisy. And they didn't disarm me?
Nope, they did not disarm you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the other door and like wiggle this thing and see if it's locked.
It is locked.
Wiggles a little harder.
Are you going to try and open it?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a d20.
This dice is loaded. I got 15.
You take the dagger that was in your shoulder previously and
I
use it to jimmy the
completely
lock.
I completely forgot that was still.
Yeah, and you jimmy the lock and you manage to open the door into what appears to be an office/bedchamber. This is like every sword boy's dream room. It's just weapons on the walls everywhere. All sorts of weapons. Maces, flails, swords. It's like it's a literal armory within an armory because there's also just like rows of different sets of ornate armor. And the bed is the smallest part of the room. It's just a twin-sized bed that looks incredibly uncomfortable, but everything else is quite ornate. And there is a desk inside the room along with 2 chairs.
Okay, I closed the door behind me. Yeah, I guess I will clarify that I'm going to assume Ernie took the knife out at some point after they dismounted the horse.
Yes.
Can I? The armor doesn't fit me. I think.
Yeah, Jack's a bit tall, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go straight to the desk and open it.
Yeah, you begin to rifle through the drawers. There's nothing that's locked, but you do see a couple of things that pique your interest. You see a map of the world as you know it, with a few more landmarks than normal, actually. You see that there's appears to be some kind of a village to the north in the northern woods that you've never heard of. And you see that they have several marks down in the mountains where Tosu is of where they think Tosu is. You know where it is, and you know that they're surprisingly closer to figuring out where Tosu is than you could have possibly ever imagined.
That's not good.
Yeah. They also have what appears to be some correspondence with someone who signs the letters referring to themselves as a wolf of Tosu every time they sign a letter. And it appears to be correspondence pertaining to like strongly worded threats
from Tosu.
From a wolf of Tosu, demanding that they return Sidon to them.
Oh, okay.
And these letters are in standard Tosu fashion. They're letters that would have been fashioned to an arrow and shot at to be messaged.
Our version of the messenger pigeon.
Your version of shooting the messenger.
True. Okay, I'm gonna take the map. I will leave the correspondence. It's not. I read it, so it's not as important.
Cool.
Is there a window in this room?
Yeah, there's a window.
Okay. Does there seem okay? Last thing, does there seem?
It's like a skylight. It's like a skylight.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's a little more difficult. Does there seem to be something that looks like that Sidon would wear regularly? I know that this might not be the case because he's left, but I have little tracker devices that I want to stick on one of the. If there's something that looks like he might use it regularly, or I could take the chance and just stick it on something, and it may not be helpful.
Yeah, you actually do find. You find an amulet that Sidon was wearing when the two of you escaped Tosu. It's like an amulet with like an engraving of like a sapphire like wolf. It's like a family heirloom since he is the son of the chiefs. So
yeah, it says that I'll explain what the tracker is. It's a pair of devices that allows you to track something. The kit includes a magical tag the size of a tiny bead that is sticky and can be applied to most surfaces. The tracker is linked to a magical compass that shows the direction the tag is in. The hair on the compass is black. It turns gold when the tag is in your scene and begins to vibrate softly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if I can stick it, like if there's a little divot or something, just stick it there.
Yeah, you managed to stick it on there. It looks quite hidden.
And is there some kind of ledge that would allow me to go up to the skylight? Or using the feather hook?
I was going to say, you can just use your feather hook again.
Yeah.
Spend a few adventure points. Yeah, so you managed to do that, and you get up to the skylight, and you can easily open it.
Okay. I'm going to climb out and survey the scene. Does it seem like there's a place where I can get back in? I want to get to the area where Sidon is, basically.
Yeah, so you climb out onto the roof from the skylight, and you survey the surrounding area, which So you're like, you see that there's like the royal like palace where all like the officials are and the king lives, and then to the right, that's to your left, and then to the right is where the barracks and the prison was, and so you can see the prison, the open air bars that
Okay.
they're more like cages that house the prisoners, and you see a very very peculiar sight. You see Jack towing in Driftwood, who is unconscious, and you see that Driftwood gets thrown into the cell with Sidon. The next thing you see is you see that like tall, pale man, Atreus, is taking Zaba in, but Zaba is like floating, and Atreus is like floating Zaba, and they go inside of the royal palace.
Weren't you all supposed to escape? Okay. I closed the skylight.
Okay.
First mission, free Driftwood and Sidon, and then go from there to find Zaba. Unless, where did they take Zaba again?
You saw them take Zaba. You saw Atreus take Zaba inside of the royal palace.
Oh, inside of the royal palace.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ditch Jack's room, and I'm gonna crawl towards the barracks. Sorry, Zaba.
Roll me a d20, Ernie.
12.
12. Okay. That is a. I believe that is a success. You managed to sneak on over to the barracks and the prison.
I need to fail one of these rolls.
And Driftwood, when you come to, you are in a cold stone cell. You feel blood on the back of your head from where you took damage. And you are in chains next to that strange individual that called out to Ernie, who looks quite dejected.
Does he recognize me?
No, he's not really paying attention. He looks dejected. He looks very angsty in a corner.
Oh, is he also chained up? Like, how are we chained? Like our arms or our legs?
Like your arms are like chained up to the ceiling of this cage.
Oh, like, is it a stockade? No. Stockade is like
it's not a stockade, but you are like chained up
Okay.
like that, and you can like you can like walk, but you are like chained up. So your hands are above your heads.
Interesting.
And they're chained to the ceiling.
Are my feet touching the floor?
Yeah.
So I could like walk around.
Yeah.
Okay. How's my hair?
Your hair, as you kind of like try to like finagle it with your arms, you see the pompadour flop down in front of your face.
Man.
No.
Oh, okay. So Driftwood kind of like does this, like zhuzhing their hair in a couple of directions until they can see, and like wiggles their way toward Sidon. Sidon is also like in a similar position, right? Like their arms are also chained up.
Yeah.
Okay. I forget. Do we know Sidon? Like, do we know Sidon's name? Did Ernie say it? Okay.
Yes, Ernie had mentioned, that this was Sidon.
Okay. Driftwood goes over to Sidon and is like, psst. Hey.
Huh? What do you want?
Why the long face, buddy?
You ask in a prison.
To make a long story even shorter, I made a few promises I couldn't keep to a man that wants to destroy my home, and my friend hasn't come to rescue me yet, even though I told them I was okay, which was definitely not the case, and I feel like I quite misled them with that information. Now I really seriously regret my life decision to not tell them that I'm not okay.
All right, buddy. Chin up. Listen, you still have life in you yet. I'm not supposed to be here either. Let's put our heads together and find a way out of here.
I don't know if that's such a good idea. I've already tried to escape 3 times.
How?
Well, I mean, you see him just pull on the chains and they snap. And he's like, they're not that difficult to break. It's just the instant I do that, and then you see 2 guards run over, open the cell, and immediately reshackle him and chain him back up. And he's like, that happens.
So, do they scurry off?
Yeah, they scurry back off.
All right. So, you're telling me it takes 2 guards every time to shackle one person?
Yeah,
and you're the only one in this cell right now?
Well, besides you, yes.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No, what are you thinking?
Oh, I should tell him before I do it. Um, do it again. Do what you
Okay.
just did again.
Okay. Boom! He snaps the shackles off the ceiling.
Okay.
And the two guards come and scurry back.
Okay, and then Driftwood unshackles the chains and then swings at the guards like legs.
Roll a d20.
Really good. It's gotta be. Come on. Come on.
Ernie, as you sneak over, you see this begin to happen. What'd you get, Driftwood?
I got a 1.
You jump up to do that, and you yank real hard, and you just hear a crack, and you just as you hurt yourself as you break something. How many hit points do you have left?
So I don't believe I've taken. Oh, I have 9.
You have 9 hit points?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 3 points of damage as you break something in both your hands. And Sidon's like, "What? Ernie, you see this happen?" Sidon's like, "What do I?
Wait, how did the guards react?
The guards stop. They're like, "What? Do we call a doctor?" Like, Ernie.
So there's an opening.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
yeah.
is there's mass confusion right now.
I come over and I say, I am a licensed medical professional.
And the guards at that moment, Driftwood, you recognize Ernie's voice from this guard, this mysterious licensed medical professional guard. And Sidon's eyes glow as he hears your voice, Ernie.
I like stare daggers at Sidon from the corner of my eye.
Sidon is so happy to hear your voice. Sidon's like, "Oh my god, you came back for me." And he runs and barrel charges the two guards and smashes them into the side of the cage. And then he goes over and he breaks the chains that were chaining Driftwood. And Sidon goes, "All right, I think we can get out of here, right?" As the three of you hear an alarm go off, as guards have seen this.
I am rendering medical aid to the guards, and then I look at both of you. I'm like, let's go.
The plan worked, everyone.
Oh, but we need to go
Cool.
But we need to get Zaba.
Yeah.
Driftwood, what do we do? Where's
So
Zaba?
my hands are broken, right?
Yeah, your hands are broken. You probably can't cast spells while your hands are broken.
Really?
So, Ernie, don't panic, but my hands are broken. I was unconscious and they took Zaba. I don't know what happened, but we have this guy now.
Hi,
Sidon, how much of the
Sidon.
palace? How much of the palace grounds layout do you know?
I could probably take us around. Where do you think we need to go?
I saw a figure, 2 figures headed towards the. Well, I saw them going into the palace.
Describe the figures to me. Like was
One was
of them
floating, the other
Okay.
wasn't.
describe to me the one that wasn't, because usually when there's someone floating, that means it's a prisoner being taken to.
I think their
The-
clothes were like long.
Oh, gotcha, Atreus, the king's brother, the royal magician, the royal invoker. Ha! That's like the one place I don't think I know how to get into, but I do know where it is.
Let's go there.
Cool. Sidon says, "Oh, that's easy. We can go inside or we can go outside." And he points to a tower that extends above the royal palace.
I don't know if Driftwood can climb up there.
And with
Driftwood
that,
tries. No.
we are going to fade over to Zaba.
Oh no, Zaba.
I'm
Zaba.
alone. Nobody carry me.
Dyson Pizza is Mya Worrell as Zaba, Justin Ricafort as Driftwood, Kyla Worrell as Ernie, and myself, Derek Aiello, as the guide. Cover art by Gene Young, music by Itamar Ben Zimra, with additional sound design and sound effects by Brian Kim. Whoa, cliffhanger? Yep, that's right. What will happen to Zaba? Find out on our next episode, which will be on Monday, January 24th. Also, Happy New Year! And sorry but not sorry that we're leaving you hanging so early on. You can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Dyson Pizza for updates on the show, and check out the video or audio version of this on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to subscribe to the show so when Zaba's fate is revealed, you will be the first to know. And if you could, we would really appreciate it if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We're a really tiny show, and having more reviews really helps us reach more folks. So if you like what you're hearing, we would really appreciate it if you left us one. Thank you all, and see you then.